Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. Today we're going to be going over the Stareal versus GaryTheGengar game. Actually, I'm doing it live. Just want to apologize for sounding a little short of breath right now. I actually just ran across the house. I knew this game was starting around 7. Started a couple minutes early, so I just managed to get around to get into it, thankfully, and I'm excited. So yeah, let's get into team preview. Right off the bat, we see two rain teams. Really like the pick from both these guys, honestly. Can't go too wrong. Of course, both have Politoed, Ferrothorn, Tentacruel. Pretty much staples, and Latios, which might as well be the next closest thing to a staple alongside Thundurus T, but surprisingly neither player opting to use Thundurus T, which, that's fine. So Keldeo is a pick for Stareal. Honestly, Gary's pretty well prepared for it between Latios, Gyarados, and Tentacruel and Politoed, so that's probably advantageous for him, but also Jirachi should be pretty good for Stareal here. If it's Thunder, it's able to live any hit from +1 Gyarados and take that out. It also potentially soft check Latios when combined with Ferrothorn, so that's good. A fast sub-combine Jirachi in particular, especially if there's any chip on the Mamoswine, or if it's Water Pulse, looks pretty good for the Stareal side. Otherwise, though, I'd say the matchup favors GaryTheGengar. Mamoswine is very threatening, hard to switch into, and on top of that, Gyarados could win the game if there's any chip on the Jirachi and Ferrothorn. And speaking of that, we see a knockoff turn 1 to Ferrothorn, and Gary, since he led correctly with Ferrothorn, gets rocks up and spikes up and is a turn ahead with the knock. It is worth noting that, by the way, Gary is probably going to Ross Berry Ferrothorn to take advantage of Road and Wash. It's a good set here, but also, okay. We're going to see Jirachi come in here now on that. It's probably a sub Jirachi. Yeah, this indicates that it's almost definitely a sub Jirachi. So if it's Scarf Politoed from Gary, he's going to come to it and go Encore, but this probably means that it's Scarf Latios or Scarf Gyarados. As he went, yeah, and his Water Pulse there. So he went to Mamoswine to try and check this, and he's going to take the Water Pulse and get confused. That's a humongous lead there, right off the bat for Stareal. Yeah, all of a sudden the Mamoswine big start's gone, and yeah, as we said before, the Calm Minder. Yeah, and it is Encore Politoed, so I feel like, see, these guys playing so quickly. I feel like you have to kind of pick up on the fact that if you're bringing the Jirachi in on Ferrothorn, it's almost definitely going to go for a sub. Now, I think Gary expected to be Hidden Power Ice and Thunder, which basically Mamoswine walls, and that's the set 9 out of 10 times, so I don't think he made a bad play, but my personal instinct is just to not risk it this early on in the game. Politoed is extremely expandable in this game because it enables Tentacruel, it enables Latios, etc. So you don't really mind if it takes a Thunder or a big damage. Encore in the sub would be a huge plus anyway, because then you get double switch. You could probably get Latios in on anything that's not Jirachi, and that's pretty good for you. But I understand why he did what he did, and unfortunately, because of the fact it got 60% confusion and the 50% hit, that's a huge loss there for Gary. So he's definitely behind to start things off, but this can obviously change. It's still pretty early on. Latios is going to come in here now on the Encore Jirachi, and we're also going to see Latios from Stareal. So yeah, that sequence happened, but unfortunately, it happened at the cost of Mamoswine in the meantime. Ferrothorn's going to come in here now for both players. Unsurprisingly, really smart play there by both, just trying to check it out. So yeah, So looking at this position now, we're going to see knockoff there. It is Lumberry, not Ross. So now we're kind of just in this awkward stalemate where they both got 3 spikes and rocks up, and neither of them really wants to do anything. Gary is actually going for the offensive, saying, okay, let's get this out of the way, try and force more damage onto it in the struggle war, which is fine initially, but now he pulls back and he starts to go for spikes again. The big thing is here now that either player can go to Tentacruel, but if you go Tentacruel on a Whip, you're kind of in a bad spot. A crit there actually proves very helpful for Gary, but also trading these two is a bit more favorable for Gary at this point, as his win condition is undoubtedly going to be that Gyarados. And Gary sees this, and he goes Tentacruel. Great play. So yeah, actually, a spin here would be pretty clutch, I'd say. And Tentacruel comes in here now from Stareal. Okay. On the spin. Now, I wonder, is this going to be a sub Tentacruel for Gary? If so, if he gets a sub up and he's quicker, that could actually be another win condition. Nobody goes Ferrothorn on that, indicating that he might not be or didn't want to risk it this early. I'm not too sure, but now we're probably just going to see Scald Fishing into the Ferrothorn. Burn on the first try is really good. Wow. Tough game for Gary luck-wise, I gotta say. Now the follow-up Scald will take it out because of the burn, so Gary's got to pull back here. He goes Latios on another Scald, no burn this time. I'm imagining that this is going to be a Calm Minder or a Specs Latios here, and he does in fact go for the Calm Mind indeed. Another Scald there, no Toxic is shocking. He gets the burn. Lucky game here for Stareal again. I assume Roost is going to happen here. I wouldn't be shocked if this is Scarf Politoed for Stareal, and a non-Scarf, and he's going to go Encore on his turn, trying Encore to recover. Because of that, I think Gyarados is the play on Encore. And he gets Gyarados in on Ferrothorn. And here's the interesting part. Do you just say fuck it and go for the Dragon Dance here? And that he does. He does indeed. He's playing very quickly. And that's going to be at the expense of a 45% Power Whip, though. That's a lot of damage. And now you're obligated to click Bounce if you don't have Earthquake. And that invites into Jirachi. And it's also worth knowing this is Intimidate, not Moxie. So, +1 Earthquake shouldn't take out an 88% Jirachi in this instance. It should be physically defensive, assuming it is Calm Mind. And the Water Pulse indicates that it's Calm Mind, so... kind of curious to see how this will go. Sorry if there's any noise in the back of my legs. Got some family talking and whatnot. Nothing crazy. Just, it's a nice Sunday. Another Dragon Dance. I think that's a bit greedy, but it seems the game feels otherwise. That's a humongous miss there. All of a sudden, Gary putting himself in a very threatening position. Doesn't even have to risk bounce. He can just go for the Waterfall now, but he's going to need a flinch on that Jirachi to take it out. I wonder if he goes Keldeo and tries to bait the bounce, but the thing is, you need specs on Keldeo to kill this with one hit. I think if he goes Keldeo, you sub. Yeah, I think that's it. Because if you sub on the Jirachi, then the game ends. And if you sub on the stand, you can still bounce the next turn, and if he bounces, and then yeah. It's basically weighted 50-50s. It might not be sub, though. It could be 3 attacks. If it's Earthquake with the 3 attacks, then that also does the trick. Gary put himself in a really commanding position here, though. That whip miss absolutely helped in that, but it could not matter if it's 3 attacks, honestly. We'll have to wait and see. Pretty tight here, though, honestly. I think the play here is just to go Jirachi, honestly. But if he's not physically defensive for some reason, or he's got a hard read on the set, then you could say go Keldeo. And if it's specs, then you could just Hydro Pump the first time on the sub, or Surf the first time on a sub, then bait the bounce. And you could do the same with Politoed. Politoed could also click Encore here. But the thing is, does Encore work if you bounce up the first time? I don't believe so. We're going to find out. We know for a fact this isn't like some double-edged normal gem stuff. We've seen the leftovers, which actually is coming quite in handy here. Alrighty. So now they're both taking their times here. That's interesting. Oh man, this is like one of the decisive turns, if you will. I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. Yeah, I mean, I know I don't have a ton to say. I feel like this is just largely a matter of how people perceive their positions. And if I'm Gary here, I click... I think I just click Waterfall. Yeah, and he clicks Waterfall. I don't know what Stareal clicks. He clicks Encore, and honestly, I don't know if that's going to be enough to do it unless he gets a... Well, you Protect here. That means that it's Scarf Keldeo, by the way, which isn't going to be very helpful here. Because it's not going to kill this in 1, or even maybe not 2 after leftovers. So if you're Stareal here, you kind of have to get some sort of status, or be Perish Song. If you use Perish Song, click to begin with, though. Toxic? Okay. So now I think that this Gyarados no longer is winning the game. You get a Protect here, then you go Tentacruel, you get a Protect there, then at that point, that's 1 turn Tentacle switch in, another 1 turn Protect, another turn Tentacle switch in, another turn Tentacle Protect, 4th turn right there, foddering Politoed, then you get a 5th turn with Tentacle Protect. Those 5 turns means that at most, this Gyarados gets 1 more kill, and that likely is going to be the 50% Politoed. If it crits the Tentacruel though, then it could get 2 or 3 kills. Yeah, so you Protect here, exactly. Now, on this turn, you go Tentacruel, and you go Tentacruel, you live the +2. It should do no more than, I'd say, 70%. We'll see here. It does 81. My, oh my. Okay, so that's like 0 defense max speed Tentacruel. Okay, that explains it, I guess. So now you click Protect here. Yeah, so here's your another turn. Exactly, just like we alluded to. Now you double Protect. Wow, I strongly disagree with this maneuver. I value Tentacruel here much higher than Politoed. But he got it. So now you just got to fight off the Politoed. Yeah. And now Gyarados goes down. So that Toxic Encore sequence was pretty good. The Encore covered the Substitute, because if you're toxing the Substitute, it's not great. So I think that actually Stareal played around that optimally. That was really nice. But GaryTheGengar has some new life. He got 2 kills and a lot of chip on the Tentacle here. Latios here, seeing as this is Scarf, it's either Scarf Keldeo or Scarf Latios. We've seen a ton of Calm Mind Latios recently, and I wouldn't be shocked for that to be the set here. But with Calm Mind Jirachi, it feels like more likely to be Trick, which leaves it being more likely to be Specs or Scarf. Why I'm saying that is there's a lot of overlap in the counterplay. For example, Calm Mind Jirachi, yeah, with Water Pulse, it's a bit better against Trying Drill, but still getting a Trick on one of those 2 things helps, helps minimize it, and that's big. Really open in terms of what this Latios set is. We would have known it wouldn't be Scarf if we saw Scarf Polytoad, but now that it's defensive, it's really open. We have no idea. Oh wow, big miss there for Stareal. GaryTheGengar getting a little bit of the luck he lost earlier on in the game there. Truth be told, I don't think that's ever killing, even if it's Specs. It's probably got some special defense investment. I know BKC tends to do that, and Gary is on BKC's team, so yeah, I'd imagine it hits like 310, 311 speed, then pumps the rest in special defense, and if you recall, Tentacle actually is pretty good special bulk. You see there, it's base 120 special defense and 80 HP, which, it's pretty good. It averages out to nice amounts. I imagine we see a Scald here. Yeah, Scald and the Jirachi, nice 31%, and this is a risky position here for Stareal, as between Scald and Burn, he's not really able to keep up with this too much. Interesting here to see the Latios come in. We see the Recover in Latios on Latios. Stareal's playing this like it's Scarf Latios. I'm going to go out on limit and say it's Scarf Latios, not Scarf Keldeo then. And Dragon Pulse 13, that doesn't tell us anything, but it does indicate that it's Choice, because Choice would run Dragon Pulse plus Draco. So it's Scarf Latios. It's either Mystic Water or Specs or Sub Keldeo. Both seem like they're just fast, standard Tentacle. I know Gyara revealed he's toxic. I'd imagine that for the Tentacle on the Stareal team, it's probably toxic, but Sub is within the realm of possibilities. Ice Shard here, this revealed Never Melt Ice because it didn't take leftovers, so this should take this out no matter what. If I'm Garrity here, I'm 100% clicking Earthquake. There's no way Stareal stays in here. I think that Tentacle is very easy to go into if you're Stareal, in part because Tentacle is so low that it's not going to do a ton, and in part because you don't want to risk this Latios. You lose Latios, you probably lose the game. It's your main way of revenge killing things. So I think that we're going to see Tentacle here, and I think we're going to see it on an Earthquake. Keldeo on Earthquake works all the same. Great play there from Gary, capitalizing on that. It's a good read for sure. And I think that was really objective. Like, I know it's a 50-50, but that was the objectively right play. And now we're going to see how important it is that Gary's Tentacle is healthy, whereas Stareal's is not. As this Keldeo is easily kept in check. Despite Gyarados being gone, despite the Polytoad being chipped, and despite the Latios being status, Tentacle is a great tertiary check to it, and honestly one of the better checks to it in the tier altogether. A crit Scald there. Gary definitely getting some things bouncing more so in his favor. Now we're going to see... Ooh, a nice sequence there from Stareal, knowing Latios is not going to want to stand forever, but he can bait the Protect there, gets his Jirachi in. You don't really need Latios' health in this matchup anyway. And now, here we're going to see a bad substitute, because this Jirachi can only beat the Latios through Confusion. Yeah, Water Pulse there is going to do 8. And now it's confused, but, like, also, you can never 1v1 this. So, what are you doing? Is he gonna? Oh, he's gonna 1v1 it with Confusion. This reeks of game decided by Water Pulse Confusions. Okay, we'll see the recover there. I mean, yeah, look, this caps out even if it's plus. What's happening here? Surf there, crit breaks to Sub. Yeah, Water Pulse 15. Again, you see it's capping out at so little. I think it just recovered here. Yeah, no point risking anything. The only way Stareal wins is like running Confusions at this point. Surf here, it critical hits the Jirachi. Wow, that is fantastic for Stareal. Latios can come into Revenge Kill it though, but the thing is you could fodder off Polytoad. You can go Tentacle. In fact, I don't agree with Mamoswine as much, but I don't think it matters because in all likelihood the Tentacle is quicker than it anyway. See, I don't think that matters too much. And now at this point, I think you just go Tentacle and just start spamming Scald into everything. Yeah, I think GaryTheGengar is strongly advantaged here. He would need a lot of things to not go his way luck-wise. Potentially even missing multiple Draco Meteors at this point. Damn, this is a pretty close one. Definitely a messier game, if you will, in terms of RNG. And Politoed's a fine play. It's on the expendable side. It's also worth noting that the Tentacle can't actually do anything for Stareal. The Latios just sits on it. But also, now it's gone altogether. So, Politoed, yeah, Politoed's just going to click Surf until it's gone. I think GaryTheGengar is going to walk away with this win and go to 1-0. Stareal, actually a pretty formidable effort for his first game. I don't agree. I think he got a little lost in the mid-game just among his own plays. And I feel like this team kind of wants to run Thunderous T over 1 and 2 Steel types always, just because you love that extra breaking power. And look how dynamic it would be in a matchup like this. But also, Gyarados is a tough one to face, and Gary did make the most of it, really breaking open the game after a lackluster start, despite losing his Mammoth Spine for basically nothing. Tentacle here, that's a fine call. Hydro Pump, it's never going to break through, barring running crits. Even then, Protect, you can PP stall it. Shouldn't be that big of an issue. We see that it's capping out at like 38, and it's doing minimum 32. That's just not enough when Rangers plus Black Sludge intact. And Tentacle continues to be one of the most problematic Pokemon in the tier. It's really good. So, unsurprisingly there. And the person who kept the Tentacle more intact was able to ultimately come out victorious. Really good game there. Congratulations to Gary on your debut, on your first win this year. And Stareal, not the best outcome for your debut, I know, but you know, lots of bright spots ahead, I'm sure. Brought a solid team for the most part. Maybe 1-2 things to disagree with, but you know, nothing fundamentally flawed. And also played an alright game. Gary definitely, came on the top there, but good one altogether. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.